Yeah, so I had a story. This is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, home of the sassy assassin. This is from CBC. Royal Canadian Mounted Police and other agencies are investigating after an exorcism and other alleged activities took place at a children's Bible camp 45 minutes north of Saskatoon.
The Bible camp makes it not fun. If these were just like, if they were just like kids at a summer camp being like, oh, we're playing with a Ouija board. We're gonna whatever. Then that's funny little heinous teenage activities. But then you get the Bible involved. Now it's like real and serious. Like they think it's for real.
Get the whole camp fucking arrested.
Yeah.
In addition to the alleged exorcism conducted earlier this summer, it's unclear how the man in question, Carlos Doerkson, was approved to work with the kids at Redberry Bible Camp.
Damn, that's a rough life.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Oh, I'd worship the devil.
Yeah, right?
On the man's own Facebook page, he detailed a recent lengthy history of pornography and drug addiction, domestic violence, and firing from a previous job as camp counselor. So that was on his Facebook before he was hired to work at this camp. And they just, at a time in which people are, firing people for all kinds of stupid bullshit, they're not doing a deep check on this guy.
No one tried to cancel him before this happened.
I know.
So it's okay. They would have found out otherwise. You know?
So RCMP confirmed an investigation is underway into 2 reports of an incident involving a staff member of the Redberry Bible Camp and a preteen boy on the evening of July 13th, 2022. Redberry Bible Camp board chair Wayne Dick, just nothing but good names here. Wayne Dick says that they're looking into the incident. So the Dick is on it. The Dick is on the case.
Man.
You can't stop the Dick from looking into this.
Can't stop a dick from getting a dork.
The Dick canceled the dork. Dick told CBC News that the
Which
staff
is also
member,
a dick, right? A dork is a whale dick.
It is indeed.
Okay.
He told the CBC News that the staff member in question was no longer on site with the 100 plus children who attend the camp each week in August, but released few other details. Parents say Doerkson brainwashed the boys from the beginning. They do
parent Gene Twat.
Oh my god! Like TUAWT.
Like Tina Snappin' Puss says that they say that he brainwashed the boys from the beginning. They do a full day of vigorous physical activity in the summer heat. He warned the children to be on constant lookout for demons.
Sounds like he's doing his job.
Yeah, absolutely. Doerkson apparently told the boys signs of demonic possession included, quote, any flickering indoor or outdoor light, thinking a girl was cute, or laughing while watching The Simpsons or other evil TV shows.
Good.
And I was like, that's some Canadian shit there. They're like a full 20 years behind. It's been like, oh, you don't want to be watching The Simpsons there. That's evil.
This camp is like shadow funded by Laura Bush.
Yeah, this camp is from 1993 somehow.
What if your son starts thinking
Barbara Bush,
Bart Simpson's cool, and you're like, and my son thinks a rude kid is
exactly.
cool. He is rude.
Oh, next thing you know, my little tyke is he's flipping me the bird. Riding a skateboard.
Anybody.
Can't be having that.
They only let them watch the show for Flanders.
Yeah, that's right.
Buddy. Yeah.
Like, this is the main character.
A recut version of The Simpsons that's just Flanders scenes.
It's called The Flanders. They don't put him in the show very much, but the show, he's the message.
They think it's like 5-minute shorts about a religious family.
On the third night of camp, Doerkson preached to the group of roughly 8 boys until nearly 5 a.m. You're like, oh my God.
This guy
sucks. And that was again followed by a full day of camp activities. The fourth night at roughly 10 p.m., Doerkson sent them out into the darkness to explore, they said. One boy thought he saw a monster, and they all came running back inside. And that's when Doerkson decided to perform an exorcism on a boy whose nose was bleeding, and he was writhing on the floor. So he freaked these kids out to the point where they ran out in the dark, and then one of them came back, I guess, got a nosebleed or something, or maybe who the fuck knows what happened, but he starts writhing around the floor, and the guy's like, oh, obviously he needs to be exorcised. 2 of the parents said that this apparent medical distress occurred before the exorcism was initiated, while the third said they weren't sure about the detail. It's unclear how long the ceremony lasted, but at the end, the complainant said that the man told the children that he got rid of the demon that had possessed the child. He then handed his business card to each of the children. 2 parents emailed images of the card to CBC, and it reads, Carlos Doerkson, Apostle, on the front.
No wonder you got this job. You just handed him this card.
So
and they're like, oh, you're a professional.
Let's pretend I didn't say any of this. Just imagine a normal man handing his business card to a bunch of children under any circumstance. That's fucking hilarious and weird. Yeah, it's just weird. And the business card also had his email and and his YouTube channel. And on the back, it quotes the book of Matthew, quote, "Heal the sick, raise the dead, cure those with diseases, and cast out demons." He then told the children that they had to stay in contact with him for the rest of their lives because only he knew how to ward off the demons they'd all encountered.
Oh no!
Wow, that's
what's his YouTube channel?
I might have.
I had a feeling you had. I had a feeling.
It's so much more boring than it should be.
God is not just some Jolly Rancher Kool-Aid God that just, I'm okay with sin, keep doing this, keep doing that. No, there are consequences, and don't get it twisted. God is a loving God. He's a merciful God. He is a God that longs for us to come and enjoy life with him in his holiness, but it doesn't mean that he will not discipline those who deserve it.
For 40 minutes. It's just that. Yeah, it's so much more boring than
it's just like one of those street pastors that's just fucking on the internet in his house.
Yeah.
Being more crazy almost, because no one's... How many views did that have?
He's on his virtual street corner.
337.
Oh, man, that's great. That's just great.
Yeah.
All right. All right. At least it's not like a few thousand or something, like...
Marcy Bond, whose 13-year-old son was one of the roughly 8 boys in the cabin when the exorcism took place, said, quote, "They kept saying this was spiritual warfare and it was likely to happen again. Some of the children were so terrified that they called their parents, and even though the 6-day camp was less than half over, the parents took their children home that night. The CBC News spoke to Bond.
Those are good parents.
I know, right? Yeah. The CBC News spoke to Bond and 2 other parents who picked up their children after midnight on July 14th following the exorcism. They all say that Redberry executive director Roland Thiessen and board chair Wayne Dick told them both.
Still funny. Still funny.
Wayne Dick.
He told them both that night and in follow-up conversations that the exorcism was, quote, necessary to save the boys, and that Carlos Doerkson had special powers to cast out the demons. So even the guy running the camp is like, no, Carlos Doerkson knows how to cast out demons.
Now we know why he got hired.
Yeah, right?
They said, quote,
what kind of parent doesn't look into what the fuck they're sending their kid to?
Yeah. They said that, quote, "We've had satanic activity in the past, and they were fortunate to have Carlos there because he can speak directly to God." It's like, oh, that's good. Isn't this a Protestant?
So this just keeps happening.
Yeah. So Redberry is operated by the conservative evangelical Saskatchewan Mennonite Brethren and has been running since 1943. Partners listed on its website included other Christian groups in the Saskatchewan Camps Association, which provides accreditation. It's unclear whether online or social media searches are conducted on potential Redberry staff, but the staff member in question shared his life story on his own Facebook page, which has been publicly available for more than a year.
Yeah.
So if they just read his site, it'd be like, oh man, I beat up my girlfriend and they fired me from this camp. And you're like, just don't go camp now.
But can you cast out the demon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but how's your demon hat cast in hand? This is from a pin post at the top of his public Facebook page. Quote, "Pornography was my first drug."
Porno addiction.
And from 9 years old, little did I know I'd be hooked for 12 years.
What a lame addiction to have. If you're addicted to porn, you're a fucking loser.
Oh, it's so fun.
Taking that hard stance right now. That's a loser addiction.
Beating your meat.
Grow up. Go take a walk.
He said his high school years were filled with drug and sexual addiction, jealousy and rage.
Viruses.
Go play some Minecraft. What are you doing?
Yeah, the Trojan virus. My family was scared of me. I had friends that were scared of me, and I had victims at school that were scared of me. I felt like
I had victim. Like that's a 3-word sentence that immediately should get you barred from having employment at a summer camp. I had victims.
Victims of my porno addiction.
Jenna Jameson, victim.
Nothing.
Sasha Grey, victim.
No, they said went to his school though. So that's even fucking worse.
Yeah, I felt like I had turned into a monster, someone at times I could not recognize. Doerkson wrote that at some point after being fired from the other camp that he worked at, he traveled to Mazatlan, Mexico for a 6-month discipleship training school. He said that this helped him, but his time there came to an abrupt end when he stumbled sexually. So yeah, again with the porno. That led to more drug use.
Porno. I'm quitting today after hearing this.
Does porn lead to drug use? Like that's what I'm like. That's
This is
I gotta get my nut off. Fuck! I need coke.
Yeah,
this is my favorite thing about like Christians like this, who are just like, you know who went wrong in my life? Everyone else. I sort of messed up, but there's all these fucked up things like porno.
This is also literally like when Ted Bundy got arrested and he was trying to like turn himself into like an evangelical guy. He told James Dobson that he was like, well, I think it all started because of pornography, and you're like, you murdered like dozens of people because of pornography.
You know what I want to do now that I'm watching this woman's asshole wink at me, and now I want to do heroin.
I just want the good feeling to keep going. Never stop.
He said that this led to more drug use and depression, and as recently as the spring of 2020, he wrote that when COVID hit, he was forced to re-examine his life and finally renew his relationship with Jesus. He said in another Facebook post that his broken foot was supposed to take 9 months to heal, but it was better in just 24 hours, and he attached a photo of a casted foot and an x-ray. Quote, just a beautiful reminder that Jesus heals. So, getting into that Christian grift, I love it.
I said okay, but gay also works. Since you're here, I'll say gay.
Gay. I give you, Sam. I give you permission.
Okay.
I'm not. Hillary Duff's not going to come climbing out of a clothing rack to tell you shouldn't say gay. Like I'm here to give you the pass.
He continued to post religious monologues from an unknown location on his Facebook page until his account was deactivated last week. The videos, but not his biography, remain on YouTube. Quote, God saved me from a life of debauchery. Saved me from a life of wickedness, he said in a 57-minute long video posted in May, which has garnered 150 views in 3 months. Yeah, so I love the CBC just like fucking shaming the guy for his view counts.
Like 11 years ago, I met this bartender who told me he used to do meth, and then he'd stay up all night watching porno and jacking off. So he'd go to the 24-hour porno stores and rent tapes all methed out in the middle of the... That's porno addiction. It's just meth addiction, but you blame it on porno. You're like, no, I like to get all hopped up and beat off all night. It's the porno. It's the porno.
Yeah, well, that's totally like you just run out of things to do on meth. You're like,
there's certain strains of weed that just, oh my God, they make you so fucking horny, but that's not porn's fault.
The wedding cake, they claim, is the horny weed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I blame the wedding cake.
That checks out. Because that's the weed you'll smoke on your wedding day, and then you fucking get all horny after the thing. You go, fuck.
You get to fuck for the first time.
Fuck for the first time.
In another recent YouTube video, Doerkson admits to conducting the exorcism on the boys, although he prefers to call it a deliverance. In the video, he said he told... In the video,
where are the bodies?
That's like blaming it on porno. Yeah.
In the video, Doerkson said he told the parents that his actions shouldn't come as a surprise. Quote, you should know better if you're sending someone to a camp that has the word Bible in it. This is the perpetrator saying this.
I mean,
it's like this. Here we go.
At this point, not wrong.
Not wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
But then the next thing is just bonkers. It's like sending your kid to a gay camp and being upset that they're teaching them gay things.
It's art camp.
This is all your fault for being ignorant.
It's called theater camp.
It's called theater camp.
I just like that he thinks that.
But just says send him to those gay camps where all the Jews go. Yeah, the theater camps. By the way, I'm not talking because I'm literally saying all the kids at theater camp are all Jews. Every single one of them. Yeah, every single one of them.
Quote, there were definitely multiple demons. It's a full-blown demonic possession. I'm in a spiritual warfare. He agreed that the parents were irate, but he said he told them it was necessary and that he was chosen for this purpose by Jesus. Doerkson remained on staff at the camp and was finally moved to kitchen duty after they continued to complain.
This guy's going to poison all the food.
I love that. It's like
literally in sleepaway camp. They make the cook at the camp is a fucking child molester.
After repeated requests from CBC News on Doerkson's status, Wayne Dick texted on August 17th to say, quote, I can assure you that Carlos is not at our camp. We continue to look into this matter and have no further comments. They're like, quit asking about Carlos.
Every time we hear the name Wayne Dick, we lose a year's worth of education in our brains. Like it is totally worth it.
Another parent, Lisa Sherbon, said that she was, quote, horrified when and reading the first CBC News story about the exorcism. It's a Bible camp, she said. We shouldn't have to conduct our own searches and investigations to see if we should trust it. Who's protecting our kids? And I was like, I think you just said it in that sentence. It's a Bible camp. You should absolutely be checking up on it. What the fuck?
The fact that they just go, oh, Bible?
Good.
That's fine.
Yeah,
like the church has never had a history of terrible things with children or anything like that.
If you're going to have people who are working around children, look at their Facebook for at least the last, let's go 3 months. How about that? Like, if you just see the thing where he's just like, yeah, I used to love porn, man.
Well, you can't.
And then I went to Mexico. I got kicked out of Mexico because I love porn so much, dude.
Rivers is trying to cancel people for their opinions, which does not happen in a free country like America.
I mean, you could read that.
The Bible. I saw the Bible. It should be okay.
Yeah.
I've never read it, but I saw the word
never
Bible.
read it. I haven't read it. Is it good?
Rivers has. Is it good?
Let me ask you, is it a good beach read?
It's pretty fucking wild, man. It's pretty wild.
This Bible's heady.
It is, yeah. I know. I didn't grow up with it. So the first time I read it was part of my final English lit class was the Bible for literature students, and we spent an entire semester reading cover to cover. And I'm like 20, 21 years old, just being like, "What the fuck?
This is fucking wild.
What the fuck is this shit?" So yeah, I encourage everybody if you're not sure whether you're religious or not, go ahead and read the Bible. That'll cure you. You'll be like, oh yeah, no, I'm good.
No, I'm good here.
I mean, this is interesting, and it's fun to know.
Storybook,
and it's fun.
Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah. My study Bible is so fucking dorky because the margins are just like, ooh, this is a lyric from a Wilco song. Like, I got so many like pop culture references from it. I was like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, City on a Hill. That's the Reagan speech.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, if you're in Saskatoon, watch out for Dork and Dick. They're coming at you.
Wayne Dick.
Wayne Dick and Carlos Doerkson.
It's just two people that deserve zero respect.
Wayne Dick just feels like a placeholder name in a Seth Rogen script. Like, I don't know, we'll just name him Wayne Dick. I don't know, we'll double back to it.
All my characters and all my scripts are just placeholder names, and it's like, okay, well, I'm at the end now. That's the actual name.
That's the name.
I'm not going to go back through and change all this. That's stupid.
I guess he's Xavier Clementine.
Yeah.
Xavier Clementine.
Or Clovis Periwinkle.
Well, you'd have to change several scenes that talk about their names.
What are you writing?
Or Silas Ives. You got to have at least 3 fake names. Yeah, you got to have 3 fake names in your brain at all times. Yeah.
Israel Neckerman.
Yeah, that's how you end up getting the
remember
3.
to put him in there.
Did you ever pay attention to Silence of the Lambs to like the names of Buffalo Bill's victims? They are what? Frederica Bimmel.
Yeah.
What a name. Wow. I wish I had a brain to come up with Frederica Bimmel.